Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Real reasons for the Australian bushfires. First of all, they want to build a $10 billion fast rail Agenda 21 style smart city rail link from Brisbane right through the middle and down to Melbourne, right through where the bushfires have been. Coincidental? I don't think so. I think not. The second reason for the Australian bushfires is our friend, the Heine style, get smart, robotic, eugenics, evil automaton, Elon Musk. Just give us a second, ladies and gentlemen. You can find the government documents for the Smart City Agenda 2030 Inland Rail Project. Right here on the government website. But the second reason for the Australian bushfires is Elon Musk $1 billion tunnel right through the Blue Mountains. And 80% of the Blue Mountains has been devastated by bushfires, and people were living in the Blue Mountains, knew how big a drought we're in, knew the sort of bushfire season that we were coming for, regardless of it being aided by arsonists and left-wing climate warriors brainwashed trying to push climate change, who don't care about farmers, don't care about people's lives or anything. They just would burn land because of a crazed ideology. They begged local councils to let them hazard reduce around their properties, and the local councils refused. So those are the two big main reasons for the Australian bushfires, and I just want to. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this firefighter was fined $100,000 for cutting a tree around his property during the supposedly illegally clearing his property to save it. And during the fires, the Black Saturday fires at the time, his was the only property that survived around the whole area. And, these fires killed 173 people, and his was the only property that survived, and he appropriately asked the question, why can't we control the the risks around our own homes with, the fuel loads and the hazard reduction and everything else? Good question. Good question. It is an absolute disgrace. Our government is co-opted by evil left. Both sides of our government are co-opted by evil left green lobbies that don't care about the environment at all, because everyone knows if you hazard reduce, the environment grows back quick and it grows back healthier. Everybody knows that. So it's nothing to do with the environment at all. Overgrowth actually harms the environment severely. And a person should have a right to be able to clear hazards, to be able to clear severe hazards such as trees and brush around their own home that are severe risks both to their property and to others. It's an absolute disgrace. And another main reason for the Australian bushfires, I believe, is that you've got some climate warriors that we know that have deliberately lit them, that are trying to push the climate change hoax because they're psychopaths. And also you've got some firefighters that are unfortunately some firebugs that are in the rural fire service. But another reason for these bushfires is the fact that in 2 elections they've been trying to push carbon taxes through the parliament, and we've had leaders overthrown, and we've had 2 elections fought on possible carbon taxes, and one lost because they put carbon taxes in for a short period, and then the government who did it had a massive landslide against them. But the real truth is both governments are globalist, and both governments really want carbon taxes in. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Morrison government had something to do with this themselves, because we know both sides of our government, fake opposition and our current government, both want carbon taxes because they're both globalist, and it means more control, and it means more control of the ever-expanding underclasses that they want. But it's failing because the Australian people have woken up to this and they know what's going on. Yes, we've had bad bushfire seasons before, but never for this bad, and never for this long, and never over such vast a period part of the country. Australian people have woken up to this, and whatever carbon tax or whatever push they make, whatever climate change push for extra fake emissions targets reductions, it's going to fail. Unlike places like Canada, who not only decided that they wanted more carbon taxes, but they also wanted the most corrupt and incompetent Prime Minister that I have possibly seen in living memory, and they elected the worst government possible in a Liberal NDP government. The scandals weren't. SNC Labyrinth scandal wasn't enough. The Groper scandal wasn't enough. Trudeau making an absolute idiot of himself in India wasn't enough. Trudeau winning a poll by a mile with the rest of the world thinking he's the most embarrassing leader in the world wasn't enough. Canadians didn't obviously feel they weren't punished enough, and they decided to go another 4 years with an even worse government than their current government was. I've got a lot of Canadian Patriot friends, Canadian subscribers. Derek Rance is a great bloke. Amazing Polly's my dear friend, as you all know. Nicky P's a great Canadian. I've got great PBC Patriots following me on Twitter. It's not like Canada didn't have another option. Like American didn't have an option in the '04 election with the Bush-Kerry election, fake election. Canadians had PBC, they had Maxime Bernier, they had real patriots. And they chose to do this. Every other part of the world's waking up. Italy's waking up, France is waking up, Poland's alive, UK's leaving the EU. What the fuck is wrong with Canada? Here we go. The Trudeau government decides to give Huawei, what everyone knows is a spy espionage agency, everyone except Canada and Britain, I think. Britain's allowed some of their communications to be set up by Huawei. A $56 million spy centre, espionage centre, right in the middle, I mean, actually inside Canada. You've got the most treasonous leader ever elected that I in modern times that I can think of. And you re-elected him again. And he's just prostituting himself to China. For all my people that I love in Canada, and you know that I do, I don't know if you can recover from this. I mean, I'd give all my Canadian Patriot friends a bedroom in my own house if I could to save yous all, but I can't. I mean, Canadians are just dead. What's going on? It's just like this. You've got, I'll tell you right now, you'd never get away with this in Australia. I'll guarantee that, never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Amazing, just amazing. I mean, my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do. That is all.